All right, the DNA test results are in that we've been waiting for to find out who the father of Giselle's baby and also Luna's, because Luna and Giselle were in a stall together while we were breeding, and so we figured it was either Wesley, who the one that we sent off DNA tests for. We just had to send off hair samples for him and the baby. But they were in a stall together in the barn, so we thought, well, either Wesley jumped in there, which there was a couple of times we found him in there, but we weren't sure that he was old enough at the time. But then, you know, after this happened, we did some calculations, and he was definitely old enough that he could have. So, all three of those babies with a mystery dad, we sent in a test for just the one, because we know that, I mean, the babies look a lot like Wesley anyway. But yeah, so here is the test results. TSR's Giselle's kid number 1, which, you know, P13. We don't name babies unless we're keeping them. Qualifies as an offspring of TSR's Wesley's As You Wish, without consideration of the dam. So, Wesley's definitely the father. And there's all the genetic markers. Well, now we know, for sure. So we can go ahead and register babies. One thing about living out in the middle of nowhere, the wind is awful. We've got down branches. Dust storm. Even blew over this iron sign. And my tarps are blowing away. Usually they just stay right there in the corner and they're good. Oh, there's our little chicks. I think they might be big enough now that they'll stay in the fence. I've got to catch them and throw them back in the coop. Well, that's fantastic. It's knocked down the hot fence. It was a fight, but I got the tarp back up. And I was able to put this on top of it. I'm gonna have to turn the fence off though in order to actually put it back on the clip where it belongs. So, as long as it doesn't blow off of there, we'll be good for now. Oh, we're losing shingles on the chicken coop. I'm just getting my udder wash ready. I put in my tablespoon of iodine, my 4th teaspoon of soap, and about 5 drops of tea tree oil. Have my dish soap right here. I'm letting the water heat up. Don't mind the dirty pan. And then I keep my iodine right here. To take this through. Rinse them out. And have a sprayer. Make lots of bubbles. So now that we've got our wash rag in here and all of our ingredients, nice warm water, we're ready to go out and milk. We use washcloths because I don't like throwing away the disposable wipes, because that's just too much garbage to haul out of my barn. And this is more eco-friendly. So we just use our cleaning rags and we're good to go. After I get all the buckets together, and then I'll head out and milk. They're rinsed out. I just hang them on the side of the iodine. Makes it convenient. Iodine, tea tree oil, dish soap, which that's not lavender dish soap. It's actually the Orange Dawn. And you'll be able to find all of these products in our Amazon shop. You'll find the affiliated link down in the comments. Here is our milk from yesterday. So it's got 518 on it. Let's see that. So it is between 2.5 and 3 pints. So like just over 2.5, which is kind of low for her. They go back and forth a lot. I also think that my daughter feeds them way more than I do. I think she overfeeds them, which increases their milk production. So this was in the freezer for 45 minutes, and then we put the lid on, marked it, and stick it in the fridge. And the sooner you get it cooled down, the longer it stays good. And in the freezer here, I have 2 jars so that they can be frosted, so we can pour milk into them, then it'll immediately start cooling them down before we even get them in the freezer. Some people even take coolers with ice water out to their barn with them so that they can immediately put their milk in the ice bath and then bring it inside. That's not something we've done. We've thought about it, but that's a lot of work, and doing this way, we haven't had any problems. Our milk has stayed good every time that we've used it, so far we haven't had any go bad on us. Let me knock on some wood. Time to mix up some more grain. We have calf manna, black oil sunflower seeds, Purina stalker grower, the regular pellets, because for some reason the texturized costs more, and all stock, Country Companion all stock from Cal Ranch. So we actually save all of our bags because we have a friend that takes these bags and turns them into reusable like grocery totes. I'll actually put a link down below so you guys can go check them out. I think she only sells them for like $5 or $6 or something like that too. Like, it's a really good deal, and they're pretty awesome. And she has all kinds of different. So I'll put a link to her store on her website. And then we have diatomaceous earth. So this is the scoop for the sunflower seed, and this is the scoop for all the feed. So what we do is we do 2 scoops of stalker grower, 2 scoops of the all stock, and 1 scoop of the calf manna, because it's way more expensive. We used to do equal parts, but it's $40 a bag. So we only do 1 scoop of that, and then we do 1 of these green scoops of black oil sunflower seeds, and then I don't know, I kind of eyeball it on the diatomaceous earth. I just want like a thin coating on the whole thing. Usually though, it ends up being, I want to say about a cup, but we mix it in this smaller trash can, which is 20 gallons. And then I have like a thick mug from when I worked at Allstate. And that's what we use to grain our goats. Mummy milk. Second scoop of stalker grower. Just kidding. That was the all stock. Now the second scoop of stalker grower. I can't speak today. And now the DE. And now we mix it all up and we cover our faces so that we do not inhale. I found some goat hobbles on Amazon last night. We're definitely going to order those because we used to have one of those slip leads like you get from the vet for dogs, and I think it was Luna broke through it, Lily broke it, and then so we put this piece of twine, which it's starting to fray, and then we have this little it's like steer rope. Can't think of the name of it right now, but basically when you do like nanny slamming and stuff and you have to tie 3 legs, it's like today, and it's going to give us a full half gallon of milk this morning. All right, so we're going to be using the buttermilk from when we made butter to make some buttermilk biscuits. Here's the recipe so you can pause if you want to make these yourself. So here are all my ingredients, and then I have my cast iron griddle preheating with the oven. So this is the jar that we had the buttermilk in, and it was basically full, and it gave us, wrong side, 2 cups of buttermilk. So I'm going to go ahead and double the recipe. I have all my other ingredients here, including the butter that we made from our goat milk. All right, so I went ahead and added all the dry ingredients, and then I'm going to add in the butter, which the recipe says to mix it by hand. But I have one of these pastry cutters that I use to mix it, so I don't get it all over my hands. I think it mixes a little bit better if you use your hands, if your hands are warm, so it helps like melt the butter, but my hands are always cold, so I don't think it really works. And then I have my little biscuit cutter. I love this thing so much. And most of this stuff in my kitchen has come from Amazon, and so you can find a lot of, like, this is definitely there, the biscuit cutter, even my cast iron, then our containers here are on Amazon, so you can actually find those under the kitchen must-haves on our affiliated link, which you will find in the description below. So I ended up only having 8 tablespoons of butter. So I had to use some store-bought butter in here too. And you can see the difference between the goat butter, which is white, and then butter made from cow, which is more yellow. I know some people, when they make their butter with goat's cream, they'll actually put food coloring in it just so that it's yellow, but it doesn't bother us being white. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my pastry cutter and incorporate the butter. Until it gets all in there and it's a crumbly consistency, and then we'll add our buttermilk. All right, we've got the first set of biscuits all cut up. Now I'm going to grab the cast iron out of the oven and put them on and bake. Don't mind the mess my daughter made. First things first, we've got this silicone handle cover we're going to put on. And then still use a hot pad because it still gets through there a bit. You probably can't hear it from there, but you know, it's already sizzling. Right, now it's ready to go in the oven for 20 minutes. All right, so I've got our other biscuits cut. We did some that were pretty thick, and I also did some layered. So they'll be, you know, the kind that can like flick apart. And we'll get them in the oven as soon as the others are out. Now it is time to get the cream off of the milk that's in the fridge and make more butter while we're waiting for the biscuit. All right, so I've got 2 jars down. Like 5 more to go. Just want to show you guys, this is why we have Mini Nubians. Because they've got the high butter fat content from the Nigerian dwarf side. So we get lots of cream. It's actually why we chose Mini Nubians as our primary, because they produce more milk than a Nigerian dwarf because of the Nubian side, but they have the butterfat content of the Nigerian dwarf, and is one that definitely produces a lot of cream. I mean, as you can see, this is my 3rd jar, and I already have, you know, quite a bit of cream in there. I mean, granted, there is some milk mixed in it because, you know, I'm not amazing at this. If I had a cream separator, it would work a lot better, and then we would just get cream, but this works. It's kind of relaxing too, taking the ladle and going in and getting the cream. It's definitely not something I want to do every day though. You can see the amount of cream that's in here. All right, our biscuits are done. They look good. So 20 minutes was a little too long for how thin these biscuits were. A little, they'll still taste good. Our other biscuits are a lot thicker too, so, which is usually how I do my biscuits. I usually do them thicker. So I'm gonna put the next batch in. All right, next batch is ready to go. I just have a little more cream left on this 4th jar, and then I have 6 more to go. We might run out of room in the blender. All right, guys, so I took a little bit out of this jar, and then I still have those 2 jars, but my blender, I'm not gonna put any more in there. Not gonna take the chance. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start this. Well, we have heavy cream now. So I had to put a wet washcloth under this because it's so full that it kept spinning. So I'm going to go ahead and start it back up. It should just be a couple more minutes and then it'll be butter. And note to self next time, don't go more than halfway. It's starting to separate. You can see chunks at the top now. Look at all that butter. All right, this batch of butter is done now. So this time I'm actually going to strain it. So we don't I need any buttermilk. Ooh, too fast. This is what I get for trying to do things one-handed. I just wasted butter. Look at all that wasted butter. Having it in the strainer, we can go ahead and push down on it to help get some of the moisture out before we put it into our butter container. And of course, my biscuits are done. Alright, moment of truth. Oh, those look so much better. Big, massive biscuits. Right, here's our last big biscuit and then our 2 layered biscuits. Alright, so this container is about 3/4 the way full. Granted, I haven't squished out all of the milk and washed it yet. And I still have these jars left to do. That's how much buttermilk we have right now. You know, not including all of it that I accidentally dumped in the sink. Alright, I have washed it a few times. And now our water's clear. So it is ready for salt and to go in the fridge. Alright, here's the rest of it. Now it's time to salt the butter. Pink Himalayan salt, because that's basically what you use for everything. That and sea salt. Alright, we got our salt all mixed in. Then we can put the lid on this and stick it in the fridge. And it should be good for about a month. There's the finished product. Now we're going to go put some on our biscuit. Normally I would put butter on top of these as soon as they come out of the oven, but I had to make the butter. These 3 were the last 3 that came out, so they're still a little warm, so the butter will melt on them. Don't they look scrumptious? Well, I'm going to need a bigger jar for the rest of the buttermilk. Alright, I've got my jars of buttermilk. I have to finish washing this milk, which I'm going to give to my grandpa, and then clean up the mess everywhere. Alright, the biscuits are all buttered up, and my kid's already eaten, you know, probably like 5 of them. She said they're good, but she still likes the 2 ingredient biscuits better, which those are my favorite too. Okay, we gotta push this 3x3 bale out. Okay, we gotta get lower. It's stuck. You better not. No, it's stiff enough that, oh shoot. Now we're gonna have to quit. Now we're gonna have to like bench press it. Okay. Ready? Oh, this is gonna be a mess. So I think almost out. Yay! Timber. All right. We did it! Yay! Yeah. Now we have a big mess. Oh man, that was exhausting. All right, success. Now we can pull flakes off from this end. I don't know how we're gonna get the other one out. I think we'll probably tie a tow wrap to it, back it up to the round pin, and just pull it off the back. Because our original plan was to roll it onto the trailer, but it's a little bit heavier than we thought it would be. If we had a couple extra people, it would have worked, but it's just two of us. It's a little more difficult. All right. Now I gotta go turn off the fence and fix it. All done with milking, feeding, and watering, and headed back inside to clean out buckets and bottles. We got a late start today, so it's already dark. I like how bright the motion sensor ring spotlight camera is. But you have to have continuous power to it because every time a goat moves, it comes on. And then we have a solar panel motion sensor spotlight camera on the front of the barn, which I think we got it from Walmart, but I know they have some on Amazon too, which I will put in our Amazon affiliate shop. Thanks for watching.